Hello and welcome back to the Do It Yourself Home Seller Kit Show. And we are here today with the one, the only, thank goodness, because I don't know how many of him we could really handle out here in the world. Mike Perez, Senior Loan Officer. You could tell by his cough he's probably on his last breath here. I mean, the poor guy.
Exactly. I got a short 45 years left to live, the doctor said. So
yeah, it's.
Please keep me in your thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do our best for you.
Yes.
Kind of a hopeless lost cause, I think, but that's my opinion. I'm not a doctor. But yeah, I'm a real estate agent. I am a licensed professional real estate agent. So that's good. So you probably realize that there's so few agents out there. Yeah, you're probably at homeowners probably ask you all the time, how can I find a real estate agent, right? That's like the first question on somebody's mind when they want to sell their home. Wouldn't you agree?
Actually, no. But sometimes, that's the case. I mean, it just depends on who it is.
Yeah.
A lot of people just really don't know any better. But the growing trend out there is for people to do it themselves, because they realize, hey, the internet is where it's at. They're asking all their friends, hey, how did you find that home? Everybody's saying on Zillow, on the internet, on Realtor.com or whatever, Homes.com. They're finding it, and they get on this list. You know what I mean? When you're serious about buying, when you're a serious buyer, you fill out the information. You know what I mean? And you start telling the website what you're looking for,
right,
between this square feet and this square feet, this many bedrooms.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
And you'll start getting these updates every day.
Right.
I mean, technically, that's how it's supposed to work. But what they're doing, they're helping the buyer in that sense. But what they're really generating is leads, so they can sell those to real estate agents.
Right.
Okay. But that's how Zillow makes all their money. Okay. The consumer doesn't pay anything, at least not that I'm aware of. It usually is pretty much free.
Mm-hmm.
So all these realtors have to pay all this money every month. Usually, anywhere from because I've been pitched this.
Yeah.
I'm on the list as
right.
I have a real estate license. Even though I do mortgages, I have 2 licenses to do mortgages in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll pitch me, and it's like, oh, okay. And I listen to their spiel, and they're like telling me, yeah, you'll be able to get this many leads per month, and it'll cost you about $300 to $500 a month.
Yeah.
I'm like, $300 to $500. You know what I mean? And I don't even know who these people are. I don't know if they're super serious, or if they're kind of serious, or they're just goofing around. Maybe they might even be looking for a friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes these people, they're not even serious themselves. They're just kind of like goofing around, trying to see what's going on in their neighborhood or whatever like that. So they're not even legit people.
Yeah.
For the most part. And the bummer thing too is for the consumer is that they have no idea who's looking at their property. You know what I mean? They don't get these leads. They don't get anybody that clicks on their property. There's just information, and if they're interested to go a step further,
right,
well, then they can contact you. Okay, but the problem is nobody ever buys a house on a website. Okay, they just don't.
No.
They'll either go and drive by your house, which they may have done that already several times. You just don't know it. You know what I mean? They'll go find an agent, because buyers also don't have no idea what to do if they want to make an offer on a house. That is even easier than selling the house.
Right.
But because there was that one little piece missing towards the end that people just get a little nervous about, which is opening escrow and title, doing the paperwork, signing the contracts and deposits and all that kind of stuff. What do you do with all that?
Right. And
it's really super easy. Okay. But because of all that, sometimes people just, I don't want to deal with all that. I'll pay somebody 5%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just have them do it. And believe me, it takes 5 minutes to open up an escrow and title situation and all that. The rest is really on the buyers and sellers anyway.
Yeah.
Go take your check you take your deposit of escrow, drop it off. The agent doesn't do anything.
Right.
Escrow and title, they just wait for the paperwork from the bank, which the lender, which is what I do, we take care of all that. The agents really don't do anything. Like I mentioned in a previous podcast, one of the most frustrating things is that you're working with all these part-time agents, and they need their money really bad, so they're calling me every day. How's it going? What's going on? What's going on? I'm like, oh my gosh, leave me alone. Go get a life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Quit bugging me about the check. It'll happen when it happens, and if I have any problems, I'll let you know. Otherwise, it's a standard anywhere from 25 to 35 days to do an escrow. You know what I mean? Depending if there might be little hiccups and problems here and there. That's normal.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing you can do about that. Just enjoy the ride. You know what I mean? Relax. But they don't know how to do that. So anyway, it is what it is. But that, for the most part, is why people tend to shy away from doing it themselves And when they do, why they don't get a lot of good results, putting it on Zillow and Realtor.com because they're not really doing leads. And I've been to for sale by owner open houses, and they put out like 3 or 4 signs, just like agents do.
Right.
And they get the same number of people showing up, 4 or 5. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to expose your house to a lot more than 4 or 5 people, unless you're just lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have heard that happen.
It happens
People
sometimes.
just say, I was just driving
sure.
around, I saw this open house, and we've been looking at this we've been looking at this neighborhood for years. You know what I mean?
Right.
Thank God, and boom, it looks like great, and the agent looks great, even though the agent had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it does happen. But for the most part, that's not how it works. It takes about 30 days to get that thing exposed to enough people that know what's going on with your property, and to get it sold.
Yeah.
So
True
that's
that.
it.
So well, we don't have too mumuch time because my computer is almost full from recording this very valuable information.
Awesome.
So yeah, because we're very big budget production here, and
Exactly.
and with that, of course, we pass that cost directly on to would-be purchasers of our do-it-yourself home sellers kit. No, of course, I'm kidding. We actually do this very low budget. We didn't even travel to talk in real life, even though we only live about 45 minutes away from each other. We decided to save that gas and pass that savings directly on to home sellers. So you're welcome out there, people.
That is awesome. Yeah.
We're very selfless that way, It's really all about home sellers. Wouldn't you agree?
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And but I got to get going because I got a massage coming up here.
Yeah. I got to go get my rolls detailed. So yeah, busy life out here in Southern California.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah,
we got a good thing going on here, Winston, and I think people are gonna really be able to grasp what we're doing here. And go for it. You know what I mean? It's a doable deal. It really is for the average person. It's not hard.
Yeah, totally. And that's who this is really for, right? I mean,
Sure.
It's the average person. Just like, hey,
Right.
I'm some guy. I have a house. I don't want to spend 5 to 6% of my hard-earned equity, money coming back to me to pay to somebody to just put it on the MLS and go home, like you say, crack open a beer and pray that it works, because we know that's what 75% of them do.
Exactly. That's all they do.
Yeah.
And and again, even if you have a lot of equity. Let's say you have $400,000 in equity. You're like, I don't care about giving up 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Blah blah blah. I have plenty of equity. I could care less. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, if you got plenty of money, it doesn't matter to you.
Yeah,
You're already
whatever.
Who cares? But the average person, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. That's a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Not only can it help you buy a better house, the next one down.
Right.
I mean, but that can go to upgrades. That can go back to putting in a new backyard. You get there and the house it's all nice and everything. You love the house, but the backyard is really crappy. And it's like,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how old is that spa? You know what I mean? It's back from the 70s. It's got this plastic tarp on it. It looks
Love
like
those.
garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes with the house, right? They're like, oh, this spa comes with it. Yeah, I'm sure it does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's also going to go out in the trash the minute we're done closing escrow.
Right.
You got to get rid of that thing, and it's going to cost money.
Yep.
To get, because by the way, those things have to go on a crane.
Yeah.
Okay. And because if you don't have enough, if your gates aren't big enough, you actually got to get a crane to reach over. I've seen this; it's hilarious. You got to reach over your house, set it up, pull it out, carry it over the house, put it on a truck, and get it out of there. You know what I mean? So this costs a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So every dollar you can keep, you know what I mean, from the process of just selling your home, that's a lot of money.
Yep.
It's a lot of money. So. People, I think, and I think everybody agrees. You know what I mean? Nobody, I think, is rolling around with so much cash. They're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll just let an agent do it, and even though they're not doing a good job, I know it'll sell.
Right.
I just want to do it with the paperwork. I just don't think people think that way. I
Yeah.
think people are like, hey, show me how to do the paperwork, and I'll be more than happy to do it. And we will show you how to do it.
Yeah.
It's real easy.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about a thing. You're not going to get sued. You know what I mean?